Rants at the Movies, a podcast where we rewatch our favourite cult and lesser known films, and this week we're going full Irish. I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades Mono, and vomiting up ectoplasm in an unnecessarily gross way is my co-host and master of none, Ciara.
Why do I always get the gross shit?
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It's the roll of the dice, I'm afraid.
Oh,
I roll the dice every week, and every week you get the shitty intro. It's just the way it happens, like. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought?
Suspicious.
Yeah, it is a little bit suspicious, but I swear that's how it works out. But yeah, no, today we are going recent and we're going Irish with 2019's Extraordinary. We'd been saving this one for a special occasion, and what better week to crack it out than Paddy's week? I thought? You thought?
I thought, yeah. It's a shame because it's actually gone off Netflix now.
Yeah, that was where we first saw it. We managed to get a copy of it on DVD because that's what we do and who we are.
Yeah.
And yeah, it arrived a couple of weeks ago and we said, yeah, look, fuck it, we'll do it for Paddy's Day.
Yeah.
And it's quintessentially Irish in its...
It's so sweet.
Just in its comedy and in its sensibilities and in its taste.
Yes.
It's so Irish, but it's so fucking funny. And it comes to us from a writer-director duo of Enda Lockman and Micah Hearn. They haven't done a huge amount, but they got an awful lot of praise and awards
This got
and nominations.
nominated for a lot of things and did win quite a few.
Yeah, 10 awards and 15 nominations.
Yeah, and from things like South by Southwest as well. So
yeah,
not smaller, more niche festivals, actual big...
Yeah, it wasn't all just Irish film television
or
awards.
small like indie awards. It was actual like recognised international film festivals, which is nice to see.
Yeah, and I suppose it wouldn't have been picked up and put on Netflix
if it wasn't.
If it was just a kind of run of the mill Irish only comedy, but no.
Well, they don't have When the Chicks the Barley, so
no. But this, I love this from the first watch. Like, this really, it wasn't a grower or anything like that. We pissed ourselves laughing pretty much the whole way through the first watch of this film. Yeah. And subsequent watches.
But do you want to do an L summary there of it before we get too far gone?
I suppose that's probably the best thing to do.
Yeah.
And not much of a summary is needed for this one because it's a pretty simple plot. And we have a lonely driving instructor must overcome her guilt and fear of her supernatural gift in order to help a single father stop his only daughter from being sacrificed to demons by a hack pop musician.
Yeah, pretty much.
And yeah, it's we tend to cover simple stories, it seems, and this
with
is no exception.
Small casts, and this is just.
And this is a very small cast.
This is very small, but honestly, this is hilarious.
Yeah, there's kind of 6 main characters, 1 or 2 who show up at the end, and then a few just like bit players for various scenes, which add a lot. Those bit players do later.
The Chinese delivery driver.
Yeah, and
poor bastard. Boring Noreen.
Yes.
Who, if you watch Derry Girls, is the sister, the main nun.
Yeah, she makes an appearance
very
as
tiny.
an El Biddy in the town.
Oh, full on El Biddy, who's referred to as Boring Noreen.
Yeah, and it's, as I said, it's quintessentially Irish, and it really is, but it's not so Irish that it would fly over your head, I think. Like, if you got
Father Ted.
If you got Father Ted, and if you got a laugh out of the guard as well, I think this would definitely be one for you.
This isn't as full gone as some things we could mention.
Yeah, like I talked about Tommy Tiernan off record and kind of said, as funny as he is now, some of his earlier stuff, if you're not Irish, you'd just be watching it going, I do not get any of this. This doesn't suffer from that at all.
If you've ever interacted in any way with a lot of Irish people, a lot of the reactions in this will speak to you.
Yeah, no, you'll definitely get it.
The way we react to things is odd, to say the least.
For such an Irish film, the cast is interestingly international.
Yes.
Because you've got a Kiwi, it's mostly just a Kiwi and an English person, and then the rest are all Irish, I suppose. But hey, look, it's better than all Irish.
Yeah.
And they are fucking brilliant as well as Claudia and Christian.
And if you ever want to hear an actual Irish accent and what we sound like, apart from me and you, who have fairly soft ones. If you want Midlands accents, because we got a shitload of them, this is nice and soft in Midlands. It's not that really fucking terrible put on Hollywood.
Oh yeah, they're all genuine Irish accents.
Yeah.
People are just using their normal accents in this.
Yeah, like they're genuine. They're not like that fucking shitty. What was that Rosemary and Thyme film? That really bad one.
That recent one.
Yeah, where even the Irish people had to put on...
Had to Irish it up.
Yeah, it was so bad. it.
Yeah.
Also, trying to make Jamie Dornan do like a southern accent when he's from up north is a bit mean.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't work.
Yeah, Irish actors are good at accents, but rarely good at doing other Irish accents.
Yeah, we just can't.
If that makes sense. And yeah, it's mostly just Midlands accents that you hear in this.
Yeah, they're fairly soft.
Yeah, it's not going to be particularly hard for any non-Irish people to understand or anything.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like Brad...
Kerry.
Yeah, or Brad Pitt in Snatch. Where apparently a lot of people were like, what's he saying?
That's not hard to understand though.
To us.
Yeah.
To us.
Yeah, true. Or those bits in the Guard when they're out in Connemara where Gaeilge is the first language and Ní Láiríonn siad Béarla.
Yeah.
That really confused people.
Yeah. So I did a summary so that we wouldn't go off the rails, and then we immediately went off the rails after the summary.
Happened.
So shall we talk about the excellent characters?
Yeah, okay, so our main character in this is Rose, and Rose is very sweet. She's a driving instructor in her beat up missing a wing mirror, what is it? It's a Nissan...
I think it's an old Nissan Micra.
Yeah. It's actually missing a fucking wing mirror.
I'm not sure if it's missing a wing mirror or if it just came that way. But yeah, Rose is our main character, and she's...
Can I just say that the whole opening of this, where it opens on a gravestone, and we do this really weird thing in this country where if somebody is killed in a road accident...
Is that exclusive to Ireland?
I'm pretty sure
putting gravestones up at roadside?
Well, they put flowers up, but we put up like actual gravestones, and they cost quite a bit.
I don't know that that's exclusively Irish, but yeah, no, the film.
It is. Yeah, I've never really seen it anywhere else. Not the way it is here, where it is quite common.
Yeah.
The opening line of the film is, "I'm sorry, I murdered you, Daddy."
Yeah. And then
but it's not even like said sad. It's just, "Sorry, I murdered you, Daddy."
It's very matter of fact, and she puts the flowers down, and
the
there's a character standing beside her.
Yeah, the sister sailor.
Yeah, tells her, "Shut up, you spy! You didn't kill him."
And they kind of go and get back in the car, and then the bin men come, and they take the flowers and fuck them in the back of the bin lorry.
Yeah, like 2 seconds later.
And it's not even like they just place him. There's some hatred going on there.
And considering what you find out later about the bin lorry in this film, that's extra asshole-ish behaviour.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it opens on Rose, and we find out very quickly that she may have either killed her father or at least feels responsible for the death of her father.
Yeah.
And we then see her going off and doing a driving lesson, and she's a bit awkward and just awkward in the driving lesson.
But it is. Driving lessons are awkward though, in general. Like when they're trying to make small talk and it's just uncomfortable, but she asks
oh God, when she asks him if he's doing anything tonight.
And he says he's engaged. And she's
engaged.
Like, what?
Sorry. No, I didn't mean it that way. I was just making driving instructor small talk. Also, your man looks like he's about 12. I don't see how he's engaged.
No, well, I think that's that. He's like, I'm engaged. Just listen to the soothing sounds of my voice.
Yeah, no, your introduction to Rose is done really well, actually, because it gives you kind of all you need to know about her.
She's kind of very sweet. She's very guilty.
But in those, say, first 3 scenes she's in, it's her with the sister sailor.
Yeah.
And then it's her giving a driving lesson.
And then her coming home.
And then it's her coming home, and she gets out of her dress by just dropping it to the floor.
Well, she's opened the fridge. Now, fair fucks to her, she didn't go for the bra first.
No.
But she's standing in front of the fridge looking, she takes out a microwave lasagna and then goes back for the yogurt while she's taking off the denim skirt.
Yeah.
And it's one of those kind of like knee length, not super attractive or flattering skirts. And she's just like kicking it off, and she's still wearing the control top pants with the socks and the little shoes.
Yeah, it's
and then she sits on a bouncy ball and starts listening to her phone messages, because this is actually supposed to be set.
It seems to be set like early 2000s. Mostly because everybody's using Nokia 3210s.
And playing Snake on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's actually listening to phone messages on an answering machine.
Yeah, she's eating yogurt and
sitting on the bouncy ball. With no pants on.
And I love the voicemail for 2 reasons. One, it's a nice way of letting you know...
Oh, the voicemail message there.
The various messages that she gets, and the way it's set up, because her voicemail is like, "Hi, this is Rose, driving instructor. If you'd like to book a lesson, leave a voicemail. If you're calling about that other thing, I don't do that anymore. I haven't done it in years. Please leave me alone." And when you hear it first, it's like, was she a call girl? She said she was a call girl. But then you hear the voicemails, and apart from the voicemail from her sister, all the voicemails are, hey, can you come over and...
I've a haunting in me green bin.
Yeah, I've a haunting in me green bin. I've lost my phone. Can you use your powers to
Also,
come and help
can you
me
tell
find
if
it?
I'm pregnant as well?
Yeah.
Because apparently she does that too.
But yeah, just in those first 3 scenes, you find out she's lonely, awkward, and kind of guilty.
Yeah.
You find out that she has something to do with the supernatural.
Powers.
And you see that locked door, so you know there's something from the past.
Yeah.
We didn't mention that the very first scene in the film is the introduction to the dad, Vincent Dooley.
Oh my god.
Who was like a 70s paranormal expert and had these really cheesy...
videos, home video cassettes.
Home video cassettes. And they play a few of them throughout the film, and they're just...
It gives me so much joy because it's so quintessentially 1970s educational programming.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say.
And there's something about the way he speaks, and whenever she hears his voice, like throughout it, when she's like trying to convince herself she can do this and she can hear him talking to her, it's done in that style.
Yeah, it's got that echoey 70s recorded sound to it. Actually, for our English listeners, if you are a fan of like Simon Pegg's work in Big Train and Peter Serafinowicz, the short series Look Around You was done very much in that style. Also, they have an episode on ghosts.
Oh my god!
This film is just like a feature-length version of that, almost, with a love story thrown in. Yeah, no, it is. It's very funny. The way it's done, it makes the difference to it. But it establishes Rose's character fairly well in the first couple of scenes, and then one of the voicemails she gets is from our other lead,
There's also
Martin.
During her introduction sequence and her driving around the town, the voiceover from the video is playing and explaining what ghosts are and how people can get... or what was it he says? Do you have nightmares after eating cheese? You may have eaten a ghost, because even the weakest ghost can haunt cheese because of the live bacteria. So it gives fucking science.
Oh yeah, there's science. He's got science to back it up.
She's ignoring things as she's driving through the town. There's a toaster sitting out on the side of the road waiting for the bin, and the plug is waving at her and she's ignoring it, and there's a branch waving at her, and then the little green man is waving at her as well, and she's ignoring all of these things. So she's really trying to block out all of this supernatural stuff that's going on. Yeah,
so that in the first, say, 10 minutes of the film, you've already got your main character fairly well established, and the world that she's in fairly well established. This was also small town, rural Ireland, but ghosts and shit exist. But I like how they segue into Martin as well through the voicemail.
Yes.
Oh, you hear his voicemail, and then it cuts to the start of his day.
Yes.
And we get a fairly short, fairly snappy introduction to him, his daughter Ciara, and their characters.
Yeah.
And I really like the argument that Martin and Ciara have outside.
So Martin, basically, they're being haunted by the ghost of his dead wife, Bonnie.
Yeah.
And his introduction, he's in the bathroom.
That's a great gag.
The mirrors slammed shut.
Don't give it away.
And have a message written on them.
Yeah.
And it's just hilarious. And there's all this mad stuff happening in the house. But they're paying no mind to it because it seems to have been going on for a while. The daughter's about 16, so she's at that age where she's just a little wagon, basically.
Yeah, well, the first you hear of her is her telling Martin to hurry up in the bathroom
because she needs to take
he says, "Hang on a second, Ciara," and she goes, "Fuck off, Dad." Or no, she says, "Fuck's sake, Dad," and he's like, "Ciara language." She goes, "Fuck off, Dad."
Yeah, basically, she's being a little wagon, but you kind of can't blame her because her whole home life is fucked because everything's just like rattling around and shaking and slamming and lights are going on and off. Like, she's living in the house from Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Only it's her ma.
Yeah. and the ghost isn't trying to do any harm. It's
just nagging.
It's just repetitive nagging. But the fight that they have outside the house, just at the end of that scene, I really like it because it could be a fight about anything.
Oh, it's really realistic.
Yeah, it's really realistic about a fight just between a daughter and a father over the hassle in the home life.
Yeah.
And how the parent isn't manning up to it and like taking responsibility. There's also some brilliant lines in it about how all the doolies. No, I like that. All the doolies are weird. He talks to ghosts, and she's like, "Yeah, Dad, demented father talks to ghosts." Yeah, isn't that so weird? But when he's saying about why he's worried about being a lone parent.
Yeah.
And that's why he doesn't mind having Bonnie around. And he says, what if I'm doing this parenting thing on my own and I do it wrong and you end up a sex addict on the streets snorting hash? But Sarah's mostly that for the entire film.
She's a sarky little
end.
16-year-old. And she is. She's an extremely realistic teenager because she actually is a teenager.
But with a valid point of this home life can't continue this way and you need to do something about that.
Yeah, and she actually does. That's the ultimatum at the end is, Dad, if you don't do anything about this, I'm going to move out.
Yeah. And Martin is established pretty well in that scene as...
a bit of a walkover. He loves his daughter.
Yeah, loves his daughter. Clearly misses his ex-wife. Is a bit of a pushover for both of them.
Yeah.
Is also lonely, like Rose. And...
finally bites the bullet, leaves the message.
Yeah, leaves this message then.
But the message is actually... because the thing is, she's going through and she's listening to the messages. She's deleting all the ones, but he's quite smart and he leaves the message actually looking for a driving lesson.
Yeah, and the scene that follows when they're giving the driving lesson is just... there's
also,
something actually...
how sweet is it? He brings 2 toasted sandwiches, 2 juice boxes and 2 mints with him to the driving lesson in case they get hungry. And they're wrapped in tin foil!
There's a couple of like really charming things about this film, and that's one of them. That's a really sweet scene, but it also provides a contrast to our main antagonist later on. He also goes for a driving lesson, and he brings a sandwich just for himself,
and it's chocolate spread.
And one of the other things that I was really charming about this is there's a lot of like, both of our 2 main characters are awkward.
Yes.
And that lesson between the 2 of them is also very awkward. But
I'm sorry, the funniest thing about that whole lesson is the fact that Martin can actually drive and doesn't even try to drive badly.
He doesn't try to hide it at all, just drives.
And she's sitting there drinking the juice box, presumably 15-20 minutes into the lesson.
Yeah, sometimes...
it's so easy to teach.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Or at the end of that.
Like, she's so naive. She's, just so naive. And he's not even trying. And he's obviously wearing a pair of Bonnie's sunglasses that he found. Because he's got a great big shiner.
Yeah.
That he's trying to hide. And it must be a pair of Bonnie's sunglasses because there's those big 60s, like, massive framed ones. With the duffel coat on.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
And she's like, I know we want to think that we're a cool guy, but you can't really be wearing these. And he's like, no, they're prescription. Leave them on.
But for how awkward our 2 main characters are and for how many awkward interactions Rose has in this film, none of them are full-on cringe comedy.
No.
And as funny sometimes as cringe comedy can be, I don't...
Graham Linehan writes some amazing cringe comedy. And
he does as well, but there's a line
the stuff in this isn't, because the one thing I can always think about with cringe comedy is that bit in the IT crowd where he's pretending to be disabled.
Leg disabled.
And he's going, on the stair lift going up the lift into the back of the minibus, and it's just unbearable to watch. Yeah. This, you're actually rooting for them.
Yeah, Graham Linehan does write some fantastic cringe comedy. And must be addressed a horrible turf asshole.
Yes, no, he is a shithead. He writes some funny stuff, but he's a dick.
But yeah, this, you never cross that line into full-on cringe.
No, it's and still they tread the line adorable.
Yeah, it is. It's like cute, awkward, and the funniness, the humour is never derived from the cringiness in the situation. It's always derived from the situation itself.
Or things they've said, and the other one just doesn't know how to react to it.
And it would have been very easy to just drop into cringe comedy.
No, they skirt the line really, really well on this.
And speaking of skirting the line, onto our antagonist, who...
Christian Winter,
who the directors won't admit is a specific parody. They say it's based on a raft of 70 celebrities who moved to Ireland in the 70s and 80s. But I will be fucked. This is a hill I am willing to die on. Christian Winter is Chris DeBurgh. Because he lives in a castle.
Liability issues. I think he's based on... Now, in fairness, we have a load of nutjob celebrities that live and here. He is very much Christian Winter. He's an amalgamation of a lot of those, because we have a lot of them that live here that live in castles and are bizarre. It's just kind of the way it is. But I will say the song... Cosmic Woman is very, very, like, is, I think, supposed to be that.
No, is he fuck anybody other than
I just don't want to get fucking sued.
We can't get sued for saying that a character that is so obviously parody.
It's a parody.
But he's got the floppy hair, he gets accused of having weird eyebrows. He has a song called Cosmic Woman, and the only bit of it that we hear played is la 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 la. I'll play a side by side if I can get the clips. Hopefully we won't. No, actually, we'll probably get struck for music.
Yeah.
But if you hear it, you will know it's supposed to be A Spaceman Came Travelling, or whatever that Christmas song is that Chris DeBurgh did.
The alien coming to the
Earth
during
an alien
Christmas.
coming to Earth to bring Christmas wishes. Because
he brings you peace and love.
Kill it! It's bringing peace and love. Break its legs.
But he lives.
He lives in a castle
with his insane Australian wife Claudia.
Yeah,
who does not give a fuck, by the way. Claudia has 0 fucks to give.
and Christian's intro is as like a fluff piece for local television about this 80s.
It's on Nationwide.
Yeah, it's about like this, you know,
which is a real program, by the way. If you weren't aware, that Nationwide is actually a real program here.
Yeah. But it's done as like, oh, he was this artist from the 80s who's trying to make a comeback. He's been living in Ireland for so long, and while he's being interviewed,
it would be like if Enya announced she was going to release new music, only Enya's not broke.
Yeah, that's another thing that they do quite subtly in this film, is it's never said that Christian is broke.
But the castle has a for sale sign outside of it, and they seem to be living entirely in one room.
Yeah, so it's like they're just trying to heat that one room in the castle, and there's like an ironing board and like
an
a TV
exercise bike,
and an exercise bike,
and a satanic altar.
Yeah, everything
just
is done
in the middle of the room.
But yeah, it's never
overtly stated that, they're in financial difficulties.
Yeah, but again, the intro to him is pretty quick, because other films, they might hold on to the character for a scene or two and cut back to him before they let you know that he's the Satanist.
Nope, straight into
it. As soon as it cuts from this TV spot that's an intro to Christian and a bit of Claudia, it cuts to them in the castle watching it, and he's like, that bitch, I knew she was going to say that. And he's given out about that, and then turns to start writing something down, and Claudia's
and he goes, shit, I've misspelled Beelzebub.
I've misspelled Beelzebub.
And he's like writing it in blood on a parchment, and he's got like the pentagram at the top, and it's all like really like nice fancy like calligraphy, and then he's scratching out Beelzebub. And then
the next scene you see him is where you find out exactly what he's up to, which is that he's going to...
No, his agent rings and he's telling him, oh yes, you know, the spell worked perfectly and the virgins arrived and we're going to do the sacrifice. He basically gives you, it's an exposition dump through a phone call.
Yeah.
That they are going to sacrifice her the next night, which is like the blood moon, and he's going to get his mojo back and release a new album, and he'll send the album on when it's done. And as he's doing this, he's actually walking off into another room.
Yeah.
And it's really, really nicely done. The whole room, like all the paintings and stuff, everything's covered up in dust sheets.
Yeah.
And there's a pentagram drawn on the floor. And there's a girl just floating in midair.
Yep.
Over this pentagram. And they do a full pan around of the girl. It's really, really cool. Like,
the scene that follows when you find
he walks back out and Claudia passes him going in. Claudia's a bit of a fucking idiot as well. She does not give a shit. She hasn't listened to, she's not paying attention to anything. She just hears, we're going to do this. He's going to make an album. I get the money back.
Yeah, why can't we just fucking kill the bitches? Claudia's most said line.
Yeah.
That was my other choice between what I said for your intro and was going to be... And sitting here beside me wondering why we can't just kill the fucking bitch is... But she's great. She's one of the funniest people in the film.
Oh, she's so dry.
Her delivery is brilliant.
She's so dry.
I'm
actually kind of glad, a little bit of a spoiler, she does die in this. But it's not sad when it happens. Because you've ever worked in retail or worked in anything that has to do with customer service, there is one thing she does in this that will infuriate you.
Yep.
And you're delighted.
Yeah, it's like all the other stuff. It's like she's, married to a Satanist. She's willing to sacrifice a virgin with him. She spends the whole time like belittling him and shouting at him, and she's a bitch. And you're like, yeah, no, she's hilarious the whole way through. And then she does this one thing, and
where
you're
she
like,
says on a phone, the boiled rice will be fine.
Yep, sure. In Chinese says, no, boiled rice is fine. It's fine. Boiled rice is fine. And then when the delivery guy arrives,
the next time you see her is her shouting at the delivery guy saying, no, I said special fried rice.
Yeah, are you deaf? if you're deaf, you shouldn't be answering the phone.
Yeah,
You're just like, oh, you bitch.
And so then when she dies, you're delighted because she's a cow.
We'll try and that'll probably be the only spoiler we do.
Yeah, no, it just, it's so fucking small, but it made me so mad. I was like, no, she said boiled rice on the fucking phone.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I have a couple of notes about her character, and one of them is boiled rice bitch. But she's the trophy wife, but she doesn't have any of her own trophies or riches.
Yeah, she has no marketable skills.
She wants him to hurry up and sacrifice this virgin so she can be rich again.
But she basically fucks up his whole ritual because she goes in and she wakes, or you see her going into the room with this floating girl.
Yeah.
And Christian's still on the phone talking to the agent, and he's like, yeah, we'll have the new album, it's going to be great. And next thing you hear this like wet explosion. There's like poof,
yeah,
and then things
wet
dripping.
explosion is a good description.
And then he turns around and Claudia walks back out and she is just splattered in gore.
Yeah.
Looking not very happy, and he goes, what? He's like, oh, I'll have to call you back, and he ends the phone call and he's like, what did you do? And they run in and this poor girl is everywhere. And she's like, I just tried to wake her up to ask her something, and she kind of exploded and fell in pieces. And he's like, what are you going to do? The sacrifices tomorrow night. And she's like, I said sorry. We just sacrificed her a bit early is all.
But the prosthetic that they use for that, when he runs back into the room and you basically, it's the top half and the lower half of the girl and a bunch of intestines in between, and they don't focus on it, but it's really well done.
It's really, really well done, yeah. No, this was quite a small budget, but the way it's shot and filmed and the way they've used things,
we'll definitely get onto it later, but I couldn't find anywhere what the actual budget was, but they used it extremely well.
Yeah.
But while we're still on Christian and Claudia, Will Forte, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, and Claudia O'Donnell, I think. Claudia O'something is the actress as well. The two of them
she's O'Doherty.
Claudia O'Doherty, sorry. Yeah. The two of them are fucking hilarious.
Oh, so
particularly funny. Will Forte, just the way he delivers the lines as Christian.
He's so dramatic.
He's so dramatic.
So dramatic.
And
he
choice
has
of words.
Absolutely no regard for anybody else but himself. He doesn't care.
He's a total narcissist.
Yeah. He ends up having a driving lesson, and he gets, number one, he won't open the car door for himself.
Yeah.
He gets in the car and he starts taking off the gloves very slowly. Yeah. And then putting on driving gloves. And I'm like, why did you have the driving gloves on in the first place? Yeah. Like he just doesn't give a shit about it. He doesn't, like his whole sphere is himself.
Yeah, and at the end of the driving lesson, when he gives her a tape of some demos of new work. In lieu of payment, of course.
And it's signed.
But his delivery of the lines and the way he plays the character is fantastic. And the way Claudia is played is fantastic. I mean, all the actors in this are great.
Yeah, but no, it is. It's
those two in particular, and Barry Ward. The guy, is it Barry Ward?
Barry Ward.
The guy who plays Martin.
He's been on a lot of stuff, actually.
Yeah, the three of them are just
I think
top class.
Barry Ward is MVP of this.
Yeah, Barry, he's brilliant as Martin, but he also is possessed by a number of different ghosts throughout the film, so he has to play a bunch of different characters. But in particular, when he's possessed by his wife, Bonnie, is amazing. He's amazing when he's playing Bonnie. There's so many funny lines. The way that anytime he's possessed by Bonnie, he has a cigarette in his mouth.
Yes, and you hear the lighter click every time.
Yeah, the way when he's first possessed by Bonnie, the cigarette literally just pops out of his mouth out of nowhere. And then it cuts to everybody else for a reaction shot, and you hear a Zippo lighter click, and when it cuts back to Martin as Bonnie, the fag is like halfway smoked already.
Yeah, and it's right out the corner of the mouth.
And there's loads of lovely little touches like that with sound effects and stuff in this film as well.
But anyway, getting back to how these people all end up crossing paths.
Yeah.
So Claudia explodes the virgin.
Yep.
So he has to go get a new virgin by using a very special virginity divination rod, or as Claudia called it, the willy stick.
Yes.
So this whole thing, this divination rod or willy stick
will point in the direction of purity and a new virgin for the sacrifice.
But that's how he ends up crossing paths with Rose and the Martins.
Yeah.
He's on the hunt for a virgin. Meanwhile, we get to meet Rose's sister Sailor a little bit more, because she's actually a hairdresser. Yeah. She's very, very pregnant. Yeah. Out of wedlock, as boring Noreen pointed out. Yeah. Which is still kind of frowned upon in certain areas. Like, you just get people of older generations generations who would tend to be very religious in small communities in Ireland will look down on that sort of thing.
Yeah, and will still be very past remarkable about it as well.
Yes, but they end up having a whole conversation. There's that brilliant bit. I was like, Noreen told me that some bloke, the wife got done for infanticide, so he's single now and he's got no kids or nothing.
Yeah, she's trying to set him up.
She's trying to set up the sister, and that's
Sailor's great. Sailor is like, she's supposed to, I'm guessing she's supposed to be
she's Rose the flighty one.
Yeah, if Rose is the awkward, quiet sister, Sailor is the mouthy, flighty, probably had been called loose in her time.
Yes.
And she's talking about how she's just been getting with Brian Welsh, the local councillor. Do you know he's installed the ATM down the town?
Who is actually in Bridgerton.
Is he?
Yeah, he plays what's the guy's name? It's a completely different type of character as well, which is why I didn't kind of cop. There's one bit where he makes a very similar face and I was like, oh, it's you. Brian
shows up later in the film for the last kind of maybe half an hour, 40 minutes, and he's got some great lines that if you're not paying attention, you'll miss. Because I think the first time I watched it, I didn't pay too much attention to him, but he has some fantastic lines, and Brian is just, he's
Jamie Beamish is his name.
That's it, yeah.
And he is Nigel Burbrook in Bridgerton,
right.
Who's a horrible snivelling little shit.
Right, yeah, definitely. Well, I wouldn't call him snivelling in this, but he's definitely like...
Oh no, this is full on, like, can do no... He obviously, because it's like supposed to be like Regency era and he's looking for a wife and he's decided that this is the one he has and he's willing to blackmail his way into it.
Okay.
And then he ends up being disgraced because they discover he has a child out of wedlock, which is fine to have.
We're not ranting Bridgerton.
It's okay, but you're supposed to financially support them, which he doesn't do.
We're still ranting Bridgerton.
I'm done now. But it's really funny because in that he's one of these people who's like, I'm always right and I'm the fucking champion, and in this he's getting like, he's just a pushover. He's a total pushover, and it's just funny.
Right, yeah, so I'll do that then. And are we doing it to the point where like mad shit is happening around him and he's like, oh, well, I'll do this thing, so and I'll do that thing. So he's just so like sweet and well-meaning, and he's fucking hilarious.
He's one of those, you can kind of get the feeling that he's one of these politicians whose dad was a politician, like he was the local area councillor.
Yeah.
He's doing it. Yeah, he's one of them. He's like that certain clan that we won't mention.
Not that clan. Not the Ku Klux Klan.
No, the ones in Kerry.
A pair of fucking gobshite politicians that we are unfortunate enough to have to
there's more than 2 of them. There's about fucking 50 of them.
2 of them are in particular are absolute gobshites though.
But we get a lot of nepotism in politics here, and he's very much that.
Yeah, no, he definitely, Daddy was a politician and Granddaddy was a politician.
And he's a bit of he's kind of like the Irish Boris. He's not very smart.
I wouldn't put him anywhere near Boris.
No, he's not that bad.
That's not fair.
He's a bit of a Dougal character. If you watch Father Ted, he's the one that should have been sent to the priesthood.
Yeah, if Dougal went into politics instead of the priesthood, that's what you've got with Brian.
Yeah, only thankfully he's in local, not fucking national level.
But yeah, no, the whole cast is really fun. And as I say, Sailor and Brian don't have massive roles, but they're in a little bit for the end.
They're like kind of last bit of, they're supposed to be babysitting.
Yeah.
And that whole thing, and Sailor being like, no, we're going to stay around because important shit's happening. Yeah. He wants to leave, and she's like, no, stay with me, you'll be fine. Which is kind of sweet, because she kind of knows she said, like, she does say it, he's dull, but, you know, like, he's a bit dull, you know yourself.
Yeah.
But he's sweet and he's good and he looks after her, and that's why she knows a good thing when she sees one.
No, because that's when she says he's a bit dull, but you know, and Rose's response is, well, so he won't go getting all giddy.
Yeah.
Meaning he won't run around and cheat on her.
I know, and then she goes, Rose, is giddy your word for, you know...
promiscuous.
No, I'm sorry, my favourite line in that whole thing when she's getting the hair done in the hairdressers is, fancy a blowjob? She's like, go on. And then when you see her, basically she's getting her hair all blown out, and Sailor's advice to her, because she quite likes Martin.
Yeah.
Sailor's advice is to stalk him, and they're like, how do you know that? And she's like, well, how do you think I know about Brian?
Yeah.
When we next see Rose after the hairdressers, number one, she's had this mad blowout. Her hair is huge.
Huge, crazy hair. And she's right up behind the driving wheel, like kind of half height behind the driving wheel.
Over it.
And you're expecting her to be like parked across the road behind his car. She's literally right beside him on the path.
The look on her face is so demented, it's amazing.
Oh, it's great.
that whole, like, the face is like almost pressed up against the windshield because he's gone off into the local hardware bric-a-brac store because the daughter works there. Also very quintessentially Irish. She's wearing the school uniform.
While in work. Yeah. But that's actually that's the last you see of Ciara at the start of the film. And then she's not really in it again until the end of the film.
But
because she is the damsel in distress of the film.
Martin's basically gone to say that she tells Ciara that Rose won't help them. Rose picking up the mop and running in, and she hides behind the mop, running past the counter, and she's hiding behind a shelf, eavesdropping on the whole thing.
Also, one of the only dodgy visual shots of the film is in there because it's such a tight shot to film in that when they're filming Rose hiding behind the mop, listening in on them. Yeah. There's no space in the shot for them to actually get a camera in for where she's standing. No, so they've had to do it as an insert composite shot, and it doesn't look great, but it's literally the only thing in the film that doesn't look great. Yeah.
Yeah, it does move along the plot that she overhears him saying that they won't help, and she can hear how upset the daughter is about this. Yeah. And that things can't keep going on the way they are. And he was like, look, I asked. So that is kind of where she changes her mind over actually helping the Martins. Yeah. And this is also when they encounter Christian Winter for the first time. Christian Winter has come to town looking for a virgin. Yeah. And his willy stick has led him to this hardware store. Yeah. Martin has left, leaving Ciara and Rose in the store. Yeah. So as he's entering, Rose is leaving because she's remembered she's already got a mop at home. Yep. And she runs smack into him, and they have like a kind of weird interaction. And there's a great bit though, because she touches the top of the stick that's got a willy carved into it. Yeah. And it kind of gives her a little shock. And then when she's walking away, she smells her finger and makes a really weird, face.
But without going too much further into plot details. Yeah. That's
how they kind of
come into that's a good kind of the first 20 minutes of the film.
That's how they all end up kind of meeting. Yeah. They're haunted. Rose wants to help them. He needs a virgin.
Yeah. And I like how they go about. There's not much of a world to build, but I do like what they do about it. Just the little things like...
You get more of it then when Rose agrees to help them and they're like, this is kind of what's going on.
Yeah, well, when she kind of explains more about what she did and what her dad did. Mm. But even just we talked about it earlier in the start, the way they set up her character and set up the world that she's in.
When they start going out to collect ectoplasm, which they need for something.
Yeah, that's kind of the adventure portion of the film. Yeah. the journey portion.
They find out, well, she also finds out that Martin can hear Bonnie, which is very rare, and it's called a talent. Yeah. And basically, when she was younger, what she did with her dad, who was this famous person for speaking to the dead, was the dead talked through him, and she could then converse with them and do all the convincing to move on into the light. And she finds out that Martin can do this, can be possessed essentially, and have the dead talk through him. So that complements what she can do.
Yeah, that's more plot elements though.
No, but that does become important later on then, because they need to break a spell. So they need the ectoplasm from 7 or 8 hauntings to break this spell. And the way to do that is she's like, well, we'll get it. You'll find out how we get it later. And then start going through all these messages on
the phone, yeah.
And then we get to meet all of these people. And the first one is the haunting, the green bin haunting.
I am not allowing you to say anything else about the green bin haunting, because it's one of the funniest scenes in the film. So amazing. You just keep it zipped, okay?
But then you get to see little snippets of rural Irish life. Yeah. By the green bin haunting, the very wealthy man who's got the haunted stag head. Yeah. Then you've got the guy who thinks it's a werewolf.
And thinks he's seen a werewolf.
A ginger werewolf. And it makes sense that somebody who is ginger would turn into a ginger werewolf.
No, but the world building stuff that I was talking about, not so much that, just like the little things like that. You spotted like the missing girl poster. Yeah. When she's driving around town early on in the film.
There's the girl that poster explodes.
Yeah, is the first virgin that's missing. Or like the locked closet isn't really, they linger on it for a second at the start of the film. Yeah. But there's something behind there that she's trying to keep locked away. Yeah. And then there's some good little bits of foreshadowing. And like I said, the bit with the sandwiches, that kind of reflects the difference in characters between Martin and Christian Winter. Just these little things that make you kind of believe the characters as well. Like the way Rose doesn't get any pop culture references around
there's a brilliant
supernatural things.
to when she's explaining certain elements of the supernatural world, and he goes, "Oh, like The Exorcist," and she goes, "Oh, I haven't met him."
I haven't met him. And then Martin mentions Ghostbusters, and she says, "Oh, I haven't read that."
Yeah, she's completely removed herself from all things to do with that, but it's all the pop culture elements of it as well.
It makes sense for the character, because if she thinks she killed her dad working in the supernatural world, why would she watch The Exorcist? Why would she watch Ghostbusters? So yeah, she just has no clue.
Yeah.
And there's a great bit when Ciara and Martin are having their fight, and she's like, "If you don't call somebody, I'm going to move out." And he says, "Oh, who are you going to call?"
And she holds
up the Rose's driving school.
The fun fact, that mobile number is boobless.
Yes, the mobile number for Rose is the old
calculator
upside down, spelling
boobless. Also, it's the atypical Irish driving instructor card, because Ireland looks like a little person.
Yeah.
In the car.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because who was it? There was a driving school that used to have it, and it was just, with the two pedals where Cork and Kerry are. Yeah. And Galway's like steering. Yeah.
Or I love how Claudia is so obsessed. She's supposed to be really disinterested.
Yeah.
And she's always on the phone. But it's the constant clicking from the early 2000s of
she's
constant texting.
Snake. You can hear the noise of it eating the apples.
At one point, you can actually hear, if you remember playing Snake on the old 32 and 3310s, you can hear the level up sound at one point.
And at one point you hear the, "Oh no, oh shit, I've just eaten my own tail" sound. But you can hear the beeping of the eating the apples, and it gets faster and faster and faster.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know I said no more plot elements, but you're going to have to allow me one.
What?
The gloating.
Oh, the gloating. It's a floating goat.
So to explain why Martin's daughter is in danger, Rose shows them a video of a gloating, which is a goat floating. And she says it's part of a satanic virgin sacrifice ritual. And after Martin gets over the shock, he kind of turns to her and goes, "Wait a second, a goat virgin sacrifice?" And Rose's response is, "Well, yeah, some demons are into that kind of thing. Different strokes." It's one of my favourite gags in the film. That's the last one, I'm sorry, but I love the gloating bit.
I don't know how many times we've had to pause this watching it.
Oh, yeah.
For you, in particular, to calm down.
Oh, it just tears streaming down my face laughing, especially at one of the last things, kind of before we just go into bits that we liked or bits we didn't like, that we definitely have to talk about, non-spoilery, is the ending.
The ending is one of the best endings I've ever seen in a film. That ending, the first time we saw it, it comes out of left field.
Yeah. It's got surprises.
It's got twists and turns. Your heart will break. You'll cry. You'll laugh. You'll possibly wet yourself.
Yeah, I came close.
You did. You had to go and have a moment.
It has everything. It has sex. It has violence. It has love. It has redemption. It has forgiveness. It has birth. It has death. It has action and
it has free chicken balls for being late.
It has free food. It literally, the ending of this film has everything. You will not expect it. You will not see it. No,
and if you manage to guess that that's the way it's going, fair play to you, because we didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah, if you guessed the climax of this film before it actually happens, write to me and let me know, because honestly, congrats to you.
Yeah.
It does. It really comes out of left field. You will not expect it. You will laugh your ass off.
Oh my God.
And
me good fingers over there.
There's just, there's so many good one-liners in it. And to lead us
visual effects in it
to lead us into our next point. Yeah. There's a bit where there's a big monster reveal, and we were worried.
Yes, because I am a big fan of B-movies and I love a shitty monster, but I like a shitty monster done well.
And as we've banged on about enough, we like our practical effects, but I
like CG when it's done, when it's used correctly, not smacked over the head with it.
And this is an excellent example of that, because they don't have... we knew it wasn't a big budget, so when we were watching it and we could tell there's a big monster reveal coming, I was like, oh, is this going to be like fucking shitty Alien 3 when we see... them
in broad daylight, because who would do that?
But I won't say what, but
this is nice, and this
excellent use of what they had. As I said, I don't know what their budget was.
It needs to be very well praised for execution.
Yeah, whoever did the VFX on this, you did an absolutely fucking fantastic job. Because as I said, we were worried.
It was a bit worrisome.
Because there is a build to it, and I was like, oh, this could be fucking dodgy. And when the reveal happens, it looks fantastic. Not just for what they had, it looks fantastic full stop, I think.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a really, really good...
and thematically it fits with the rest of the film.
Yeah, and in fairness, compared to some like massive blockbusters that I've seen, which is the thing that I think is why I prefer smaller films, is I've been so disappointed by effects in big movies over and over and over again. And I've said it before on this that, no offense to Harry Potter, but the first one looks shite.
Yeah.
Like, especially the troll in the bath. If you don't believe me, just go and watch the troll in the bathroom sequence and tell me that troll looks believable. Or Harry on the broom. Because they don't. They look fucking awful.
Yeah.
This is done in such a way that because it's blended so well,
yeah,
this will continue to look good. And because it's not something that's like, say, like Transformers, that's so fucking detailed that you can't actually see anything and it looks like a mash.
Yeah.
This is quite subtle, but still done in such a way that it's impactful. And, you know, this is a big scary thing. And that's all you need of it.
I think 20 years from now, we'd be talking about how well this is held up in much the same way as we were talking about how well the visual shots of Event Horizon held up. Because they blended VFX with miniatures and stuff like that. And they took the time and they worked with what they had to give the best overall result.
And a lot of their VFX... A lot of what their actual CG was going in and doing things like removing wires, because for a lot of their zero-G elements, they weren't CGIing in like cans and stuff when there's the stuff floating about in that initial sequence when they go in through Lock 13.
Yeah.
They literally just hung shit on wires.
Yeah.
So all they have to do then is go in and cut that out. It's going to look way more believable because the cast are actually interacting with a real object.
And again, in this, there is quite a few different things floating, and it was all wire work.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'd imagine it was all wire work, but then the wire is just removed digitally, and it looks great. There's a couple of shots where people turn into like cartoony looking ghosts.
Yes.
And again, because they're cartoony looking, and that's how it's stylized.
That really, really reminded me of the 1980s Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the TV series.
Yeah.
There's something about that sequence when she's going along and everybody's turning into ghosts that really reminds me of that, and I don't know why.
Yeah, but it fits the tone of the film, and it, like, yeah, if they were to try and have gone really realistic CG ghosts...
No, these aren't even fancy, like when they're talking about people being... Ghosts are hiding everywhere, and they have the people in the sheets. It is literally...
It's people in sheets.
People in bed sheets. It's brilliant.
But again, thematically, that
it goes with it being this kind of low budget 1970s educational thing,
and you get a great payoff for it towards the end of the film as well. But even the non-CG visual shots, like the girls floating and stuff like that, are great. And also then you get some...
I'm sorry, when Claudia has your one by the ankle and is driving down the road.
Yeah. But there's some lovely...
I laugh so hard.
There's some lovely visual shots, just like in terms of how they're framed and stuff like that. You get a couple of visual references to The Exorcist, the very obvious Exorcist homage shot.
The Shining, you pointed that out at the start when she's driving through the countryside and into the town, is very reminiscent of the opening sequences of The Shining when they're driving up to the Overlook.
I thought anyway.
Yeah.
Like an Irish version of that, the Irish Midlands version of going to the Overlook Hotel.
Yeah, welcome to the bog, it's all flat.
Yeah, and then there's another shot later on that's kind of like an Amityville Horror type shot.
Yeah.
So there's a few like nice visual references as well as the obvious Ghostbuster and Exorcist like references.
I just love the fact that whenever anybody else mentions anything, it just goes right over her head.
Yeah, they're funny gags and they fit with the character.
Yeah.
It's just it's so well put together. This film is visually, technically, and then the dialogue and the story, like because the story is a sweet story as well.
Yeah. No, again, it's very simple.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to fuck up a very simple story. But it's so jam-packed with jokes. But it's not like some things where they're throwing so much shit at you that you get the feeling that they're just one in every 4 or 5 land. Everyone lands in this. Some of the visual gags are so good. There's one bit though that I nearly died, which is when she's driving down the street saying hello to all the stuff she'd been ignoring, and she goes, "Hello, old ghost lady," and the lady waves back and she rolls down the window and says, "Sorry, I thought you were dead." And blinds up the window and just keeps driving. And the little old lady's just like, "Okay."
That's one of the things that I like about it, is you get these gags that are fucking hilarious, but if you want, you can get the sweet love story out of it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate rom-coms, but this is basically
very,
a rom-com as well. But
it's the rom-com of two extremely awkward people.
There's also, you can also, if you want, you can look into it a little bit deeper again, and you can see it as a story of people being afraid to move on.
Yeah, they're both stuck.
I would say that nearly all three of them are. Christian, Rose and Martin
Christian's chasing his fame. She's feeling guilty over the death of her father. And he's Martin's too afraid to move on without his wife.
Yeah, so they're all holding on to grief or fear or the past and afraid to move on. And the story is about most of them growing and changing and learning to accept it. So you can take that deeper reading out of it as well if you want, or you can just sit down and laugh your ass off as you watch your way through it. That's, I think, one of the things that I found so charming about it.
It is very charming.
Is there anything else that you particularly liked about it?
I
didn't like?
There's not much I didn't like.
The insert in the shop is about the only visual thing, and that's just a small visual thing that I thought, oh yeah, that looks a bit meh, and it took me out of the movie.
No, and it never really slows down. Like, even when she's having like a panic attack and stuff like that, she's thinking about, like, she's imagined trying to talk herself back out of it.
It very much follows the hero's journey in that regard, actually. Of starting up and doing some tragedy, then she stops, then she goes back, and now she has to rejecting the call and then accepting it at the end. But sorry, I didn't mean to cut across your point. The pacing is really nice in this film as well.
And it does. There are some little sad bits and things like that in it, but they're immediately broken by
moments of levity.
Yeah, there's the whole sequence where she's telling the whole story about what happened to her father, and she's like, "But I'm just after telling you the story, and I'm even after acting it out." No.
That, when she's recapping what happened to her father is fucking brilliant as well. It is. There's so many standout moments in this film, and there's so many brilliant gags.
I think it looks like a turtle or Hitler. What?
And Bonnie, do you remember what you told each other on your wedding day?
No anal. Not that.
There's just, it's got so many funny lines, and I think they let the actors ad-lib a fair bit of dialogue because they are credited as having additional dialogue written by the actors. So it does seem like they did let them play around with it, and it definitely benefited the film overall.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else I'd like to say about this film except for go and fucking watch it. I meant to actually look up and see if it was on any streaming services.
It's not on any streaming service I can find. It is available to buy as a DVD through, unfortunately, it's only available through fucking Amazon.
Yeah.
Which, we're in Europe, so we have labour laws, so I'm not too, the odd purchase through Amazon doesn't bother me as much.
Well, our main podcast is about an Amazon show, so
I know.
I've said it before, we're in glass houses on this one.
I know.
We're pot and kettle.
I know, but we are also in Europe and have labour laws.
Yeah. But seriously, of all the films that we've covered so far, this is one that I really, if you haven't watched it, please, please, please go and watch it. It deserves to be watched. The other films have fan bases. They're out for 20 years, 25 years, 15 years variously.
This was new enough. It was supported by Fishkan on air, and it really, really does deserve.
It was a first feature for the two directors.
It really does deserve a lot of love.
Maeve Higgins, who plays Rose.
Oh my god, she's amazing.
Yeah, it was one of her first main roles as well, I think. So everybody who did this deserves recognition for it and deserves to have their efforts seen and appreciated.
Yes.
And if you like comedies and if you like any Irish comedies, definitely watch this film.
If you
it is top class.
Horror comedies as well, along the lines of, like, say, Turkle versus Evil, any sort of black comedies, this'll tickle your funny bone. This is very enjoyable.
I wouldn't call it a horror comedy, but if you like horror comedies, you definitely get something out of this.
Yeah.
It does, it plays with the tropes of ghost films in the same way that the horror comedies play with the tropes of their horror films.
It's one of the only montages that doesn't annoy me, because it's hilarious.
Yeah. It's not even really a montage either. So it's a series of short scenes.
Yeah.
Because there is dialogue in it, and as usual, there's some brilliant dialogue.
With the Cocoa Pops.
Yeah.
Eating the Cocoa Pops.
But yeah, no, it is.
Your one who plays Sarah, the teenager, I'd like to see her. I'd keep an eye on
she's really
where
good.
her career is going, because she's really, really good. Because she's the most serious character, I think, in it. She's the only one who's kind of taking this whole thing and this whole situation kind of seriously. Not seriously, but like, she would be the more dour.
Yeah, well, she doesn't have many comedic lines. She has a few, but yeah, she's
almost the straight man.
Well, Martin's the straight man, but yeah, but yeah, I know what you mean. She's the more kind of one who has the more dramatic
she's
stuff
reasonable,
to do.
Yeah, and she's really, her performance has been like, you do believe that she is just completely fucking fed up with everything that's going on and what Dad is doing, even though he's trying, and she knows that, and she even says that they're, but it's just not enough.
And again, it makes sense for the character because Bonnie is supposed to have died like 7 or 8 years previous.
Yeah. So, and he mentions that Bonnie never annoys Sarah.
Well, never bothers her in the same way. Yeah. But also, Sarah would have been 9 or 10 when Bonnie passed.
Yeah.
So children deal with grief in a much different way. So 7 years for her, it's nearly half, 7 or 8 years later is nearly half her life on. And
she's still got her ma there.
But she's dealt with the grief, and she knows her mom is dead, and she's the one who's trying to say, and it makes sense then, that this 17-year-old would be like, Dad, it's time to move on. And she does. She sells it. She plays it really well. She's
quite fun to watch.
But yeah, that's extraordinary, guys. It is a fucking class Irish comedy. It's brilliant. Go and watch it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Give it some love.
Fucking do it for Paddy's Day. Go and get drunk and watch Extraordinary.
Don't get drunk and watch it. You won't understand it.
Well, you might. But get drunk, watch it, and then watch it sober the next day. Then you get 2 watches out of it. But guys, we will be back next week for Mono Rants at the Movies, as per usual.
Yeah.
We still don't know what the story is with Diabolical because we're recording these in advance. And by the time you're listening to this, Diabolical will be out like a week and a half. But yeah, Mono Rants at the Movies is going to keep going as per usual until season 3 of The Boys comes out. And in the meantime, if you haven't checked out our previous episodes, you can. If you follow The Boys, you can check out all of our episodes on The Boys. And if you want to come and have a rant at us, you can follow us on Twitter at rantmono. We're on Instagram too at monorants_the_boys. And you can send us your own rants straight to monorantspodcast@gmail.com. And we'll catch you all next week. Bye bye.
We are Science Fiction Remnant.
This is the Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
We are the Caribbean Science Fiction Network.
We are Monorants.
We are One Accord Level 2 Podcast.
This is Sci-Fi.